All right, so here's the feel for the intro and the first verse. So what we got going on there is a basic progression starting from a D chord, and I'm going to show you how to do this, simplify this so you don't need to use any bar chords and stuff, because I think there's a B minor bar chord and I'm just doing something else. So for the first chord, just a D. So index finger 2nd fret of G, middle finger 2nd fret of high E, ring finger 3rd fret of the B, and you want to focus your strum. I like to just focus kind of from the D string. Alright, and I'm just doing a very simple down, up, down, up, down, up pattern for this song, because I think that just kind of keeps the flow nice and easy for beginners. So you got... Now this next chord's kind of hard, so I'll show you a different way to play it if you can't do it. But what you want to do for the next chord is lift your middle finger off, okay? And you could just play it like that. That could just be your second chord, but if you want to try to walk the bass line, you got to add your pinky way up here to that 4th fret of the A string. So what that's doing is creating a walk down chord, a D over C sharp. So you've got Alright, now again, you don't have to do that walk down. You can just play the D2, let off the middle finger, so you got... Now we're going to do a B minor chord. Instead of doing a bar chord, what I'm doing is just hopping my index finger up to 2nd fret of the A string, alright? And if you can, mute out the D with the bottom of your index finger. So you have your index finger setting on 2nd fret of the A, and just mute out that D string. Now you're going to add your middle finger down here. So your ring finger is still where it was for all these chords. It's still, your ring finger is still on that 3rd fret of the B, but add your middle finger down here on 2nd fret of the high E. So you're getting, that D is muted. We got to go to a G. Alright, so middle finger now jumps all the way up here to 3rd fret of the low E. Now what I do there is I mute out the A string with the bottom of my middle finger. So now the A is muted out, but you got to add pinky here now on the 3rd fret of the high E. Alright, so that's your 4th chord. So here's what we got. All that. And I think there's a quick jump to the A chord in there, all right, to lead into the pre-chorus. So just be prepared to play, go from G to an A real quick to get into the pre-chorus. So let's take a look now at the pre-chorus. Alright, so getting into the pre-chorus, again you got to be ready to jump to that A. So index finger 2nd fret of D, middle finger 2nd fret of G, ring finger 2nd fret of B. So you'll be in that, on that G chord, and just kind of jump to the A for a couple of down up strums. And then pre-chorus, B minor, so that same shape I showed you before. To G, same G, to D, to that D over C sharp. All right, so one more time. That was B minor, G, D, and you don't have to do that. Remember, you can just play the D2 if you want. All right, so now let's take a look at the chorus. All right, so for the chorus, pretty much the same as the verses. We start on that D. What I'm doing there is just at the end of the same exact progression, same one we were doing for the verses. I'm just doing a G, which actually happens in the verses too, but not this strum pattern. So you've got, I'm just doing a down, up, then to the A, down, up, all right. Down, up, down, up. So we got down, back in. Second part of the chorus. And I think there it just has a stop right after the A. Okay, so that's something you got to listen for. All right, so I think that's pretty much the formula for the verse, pre-chorus, and the chorus. Now let's go ahead and see if there's any other sections in the song here. All right, so then it looks like there's a little bridge part. So this starts on the B minor to G to D to D over F sharp or D2, and then we'll go B minor again. Now this time to the A. All right, so then there's a whole note strumming part of the bridge. So what that is just B minor to A to D to D2 over C sharp if you want to add the C sharp, B minor again, G, A. All right, so one more time because that's kind of confusing. So we got B minor, A, D, D2 over C sharp, B minor, G, A. All right, so then after that bridge, we did that G to the A. Now it's going to modulate to E, and I'll show you just kind of quickly how to play this, and I'll try to explain it to you. So we've got kind of messed it up a little bit, but that's the gist of it. So you've got an E chord, index finger first fret of the G, middle finger second fret of A, ring finger second fret of the D. Now we got an E over E flat, so you got to play a D shape, index finger fourth fret of the G, ring finger fifth fret of the B, and you're going to add your pinky up here on the sixth fret of the A. Now if you can't do that chord, I would just play E again there and let the bass walk the root note to the E flat. So So you could just stay on that E, but you can try it if you want. The walk down. Alright, next chord is C sharp. So I'm just putting index finger, 4th fret of A, ring finger, 6th fret of D, pinky, 6th fret of G, and then I'm muting out the B with the bottom of my pinky. And you've got A2, A2 to B. So you're doing, what I'm doing for A2 is just middle finger, 2nd fret of D, ring finger, 2nd fret of G. And just doing that same down up strum thing we had discussed earlier in the lesson. And then B, same thing as we did for the C sharp, but just on different frets. So index finger, 2nd fret of A, ring finger, 4th fret of D, pinky, 4th fret of G. But then you mute out the B again. Actually, this one you could let the B ring open. It's just that C sharp. Probably both these you could let the B ring open if you want to. So one more time, just to cover that. And here you could stay on the E if you want instead of doing that. And then you go to C sharp. Right? So that should be all the pieces to the puzzle so you can play this song. Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.